We've all been told that overthinking is a problem, right? That it's this source of stress, anxiety, sleepless nights. But what if that's just completely wrong? What if that constant mental churn isn't some kind of bug in your system, but actually a powerful, high-spec feature? Let's take a look at the hidden strengths behind what we call overthinking.
I mean, if you've ever laid awake at night just replaying a conversation over and over, or maybe mapping out a dozen different future scenarios, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It really feels like your mind is this machine that just doesn't have an off switch.
And look, let's be totally clear, that feeling is 100% valid. It can be absolutely exhausting. It feels like you're just stuck in this loop, right? Running the same mental programs again and again, and it just drains your energy without really getting you anywhere. Okay, but this is where the story completely flips. Psychology actually offers a totally different perspective, that these mental habits, they aren't a sign of a flawed system. Nope. They're more like the signature of a more complex, more detailed, and maybe even a highly advanced cognitive process. So let's break down what that really means.
So, the first feature is this pretty remarkable ability that operates a whole level above regular thought. It's what allows you to not just think, but to kind of stand back and analyze how you're thinking, all in real time.
Now, the technical term for this is metacognition. It literally just means thinking about thinking. So while most people are just, processing information, your brain is doing that, and it's running this whole parallel process to monitor, evaluate, and refine its own understanding. It's like having a sophisticated, built-in quality control system.
And here is the really crucial shift in perspective. That feeling you get, that wave of what feels like anxiety, a lot of the time, that's just the hum of this high-level process kicking into gear. Your brain isn't just worrying for the sake of it, it's working overtime, constantly refining its model of the world to make it more accurate, more robust.
All right, let's move on to the next feature. This one helps explain why you might feel like you're picking up on all these little things that pretty much everyone else seems to miss completely. So this all comes down to something called cognitive inhibition. Specifically, people who overthink often have a lower subconscious inhibition. What does that mean? It means your brain's default setting is basically to let more information in. It doesn't automatically toss out details that might seem minor or, irrelevant to other people. So, what feels like paranoia? That constant feeling of reading way too much into things? In reality, it's just your brain operating with a higher sensory tolerance. You're not inventing threats. You're actually processing a wider, more complete stream of information, and you're searching for those subtle patterns that others just completely miss. And of course, all that extra information needs a really powerful way to process it. And that brings us to the third core feature, a fundamental preference for depth over speed.
To really get this, we need to know how psychologists see thought itself. They often talk about two systems. System 1, that's your fast, automatic gut reaction. It's pure instinct. But the overthinker's brain, it tends to default to System 2, the slow, deliberate, and logical process. Now, it takes more energy, for sure, but it's all in the service of one thing, getting to a greater depth and accuracy.
So that feeling of being so indecisive, guess what? It's not a weakness. It's actually your mind refusing to take the easy, intuitive shortcut. It's busy conducting a high-precision stress test on every single option, making sure that the final decision is as sound and rigorously vetted as it can possibly be.
This all leads us to this fantastic metaphor. Think of it like this. A standard brain is like a fast, efficient calculator. It's perfect for most everyday tasks. The overthinker's brain, on the other hand, is like a supercomputer. It's built to run these incredibly complex simulations, processing vast amounts of data. And that feeling of anxiety we talked about, well, that's just the sound of the cooling fan kicking into high gear because it's handling a massive workload.
So when you start to put all these pieces together, you get a completely new way of looking at your own mind. It's not about finding errors at all. It's about learning how to read the report from a very, very advanced system.
So here it is, your brain's debug report. It shows a system that comes equipped with advanced self-monitoring, high-fidelity sensory input, and this unwavering commitment to logical precision. See, these aren't bugs. They are premium features, and they're designed to optimize your strategies for navigating a really complex world.
And honestly, this is the most important takeaway of all. This is not about becoming less of an overthinker or trying to fix yourself. It's about understanding the powerful operating system that you're already running. It's about learning to appreciate the source code of your very own mind. So the final question isn't about how to quiet the machine, but how to actually harness its incredible power. Now that you've got the user manual, what complex problems are you going to choose to solve? What simulations are you going to run? It's your supercomputer after all. Go use it.